It is Thursday, and yesterday we saw the darkness that was in the hearts of men as they plotted to kill Jesus. And then look at what happens here on Monday. And I want us to see the way the story keeps highlighting that Jesus is the Messiah. They are in Jerusalem, Jesus and the disciples, they're in Jerusalem, and they're going to celebrate the Passover meal. And the disciples ask Jesus, where are we going to celebrate Passover? And Jesus gives them clear instructions about where they're going to go and how it's going to be set up and who's going to be there. And I love this passage in Scripture in the book of Mark that says in Mark 14:16, and the disciples set out and went to the city and found it just as he had told them, and they had prepared the Passover. This is articulating who Jesus is. Everything is just as he says it is going to be. Jesus is proving himself over and over and over again. And this Passover celebration is going to be different than any other Passover celebration they had ever experienced. They are going to gather to celebrate with the one who actually the celebration's all about. They just don't know it. They don't recognize that yet. They don't understand that what they're celebrating is the exit from Egypt. And when they painted the blood on the doorpost and the lintel, that the angel of death passed over them, what they don't understand is that Jesus is going to be the eternal, perfect, spotless Passover lamb who is going to provide redemption and salvation from people forever. And all redemption and all salvation has always been about Jesus. Even in the Old Testament, they're looking forward to the Messiah who is going to come and is going to free and redeem and save them. And his name is Jesus. And everything that we see in the Scripture, everything that we see in the Gospel is all about Jesus doing what he says he was going to do. And then as we begin to see them celebrating the Passover meal, we know that they begin to argue about who is the greatest among them. And when they begin to argue about who is the greatest among them, Jesus begins to wash their feet, because what Jesus is telling them is in order to be great, you must serve. And what a wonderful way to confound and turn on its head the wisdom of this world. The world tells us that if we want to be great, then we take everything for ourselves and we push people down to get our way. But Jesus tells us if we truly want to be great, we serve one another. And that's how I want to end this video right now, is just that reminding us today, the early part of Thursday, is that you and I are to serve one another and point people to Jesus, the one who washed people's feet. And as we hear about later, even those who betray him. And so today, Passover celebration, they're really celebrating Jesus. They don't know it yet. He washes their feet as an act of humble service, even though he is the king. Even though he will sit on his throne and every knee will bow to him, he washes the feet of his disciples because he's showing us what it means to be a humble servant. Look forward to seeing you later today. Bye.